What's up, my lovely jack-o'-lanterns, and welcome back to Seers Isle. So, we're on the last chapter, guys. We're on chapter 7, and already this looks fucking crazy. I don't even know how to describe this. It looks like it's like a giant hourglass, and this is like the sand they're tipping to change, I guess, the course of time or something. So, this is interesting because there's two Rowans. There's Rowan as a seer slash spirit elf. Oh, that's creepy. Listen. Oh, that's creepy. And then there's Rowan as a human after she, quote unquote, kissed Arlyn. But, so yeah, I'm really sad. I'm really sad that this is the last chapter. I've really come to love these characters very much and enjoy the story, and the creators taking the time to create and build the lore and the world of Seers Isle. It's really, really a outstanding game, and it was a lot more than I expected, to be honest. So anyway, I'm not going to sit here and rant about the game. I'm going to wait till the end of the video to give my thoughts about it. But yeah, we're on chapter 7. So last chapter, chapter 6, shit got real. Pretty much, we still don't know what's going on with Jennyver. I mean, I think she took the sacred flame, I'm assuming. And sadly, Duncan is dead. Sadly. I don't think Duncan's coming back unless he makes a magical reappearance. Really, the only one that's left is Arylyn, and now technically Rowan. So everyone's pretty much missing or dead, which really sucks. And I feel like I did it bad choosing some of the choices. But hey, you know what? It's my playthrough. It's my choices. I decide how the game goes for my own destiny. But this is the finale, guys. It's crazy. And last, it got a little steamy with Arlyn and Rowan. So now they're a couple, or I guess they're a romantic couple now because they made love. So I really hope nothing happens. I already lost my two boys. I really hope nothing happens to my two girls now. So let's get into the last chapter. Chapter 7, the summit. Ooh, hopefully we can find out what the purpose of the seers are, who they really are, why they're doing this to people, what's the point of the sacred flame. I'm really happy, and I hope our plan to steal from the flame tree doesn't go awry. Let's start. Oh shit, there it is. There's a sacred flame. There's Arlyn, my two girls. After a good 2 hours of walking, at last we reached the ledge. During the ascent, the cold has been biting ever deeper into my skin. I feel I am almost home now. Human now, sorry. Arlyn is a few steps in front of me. I am filled by an oppressive feeling of deja vu, like a weight on my chest. Are we going to find out more about what's going on with her and everybody else? Well, they're holding hands. Further on, the flame tree has never been so close. Seeing I've stopped, Arlyn turns back. Come on, Rowan, we're almost there. Arlyn's determination is unshakable. I'm submerged by an unspeakable dread. Arlyn takes my hand in hers. Everything will be okay, Rowan. You're right, I'm scared. Aww. I would be scared, man. You're about to ascend the summit, and it seems like she's been trapped. She's lost the passage of time being trapped on Seers Isle. I would say I'm scared. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared, Arlyn. I don't know what's waiting for us up there. Arlyn reads my doubts, my hesitation on my face. She puts her arms around my waist and gives me a fervent kiss. Ho ho ho! I won't let them hurt you, Rowan. They're so cute! I promise. Oh, my two girls, Arlyn and Rowan, please make it. Whoa. We walk at a slow but steady pace in the chromalech, which stands at the foot of the flame tree. Oh, we saw the chromalech where Connor first saw Rowan, and Jennyver disappeared. Whoa, they're so weird looking. Look at this is so pretty. Oh, there's the tree, the flame tree. We're here. We're on the summit, holy shit. The eternal layer of snow which covers the ground of the summit stops at the stone circle, giving way to a welcoming carpet of grass. When we cross the boundary, the biting mountain air changes to a soft warmth of a summer's eve. That's so weird. I shiver. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful music. Oh, beautiful music. Oh, God, it's gorgeous. Oh, God, the soundtrack is awesome. Look at her coat. They look so cool. Who are you guys? I want to know. Above us, the branches of the tree block out the skies as we have entered a scarlet bower. The writing is awesome, man. It's very descriptive. It's weird because we've also noticed that the, like, kind of seasons, like, jut against each other. I'm going to make a comparison to, like, Minecraft in a way. It's kind of like Minecraft where biomes just connect to each other. Like, you're going through a jungle and all of a sudden you're in a snow biome. Like, it's, like, kind of like that. The waves of magical currents coming from the trees sparkle in the air with a metallic shimmer. On the other side of the chroma-lake, a group of seers watches our approach, motionless in the silent space between the two worlds. Their ornate wooden masks once again conceal their expressions and their intent. Arlyn seems oblivious to the enchantment which emanates from this place on the frontier of worlds. She stands at the center of the circle and hails the seers. Dude, look at their masks, their antlers. Hey, we've reached the summit. We've done what you've asked of us. Give us what you promised and let us leave. The seers remain impassive, as if death to Arlyn's scorn. The trunk of the flame tree is there, a few steps away, almost within reach. Yeah, the seers haven't even, like, spoken to us. Arlyn turns to me and shrugs, waiting perhaps for a suggestion. Oh, I got goosebumps. It's Jennyver! What? There's the flame tree! Suddenly, a familiar figure appears, skirting the tree to come between and us. She still wears her blue dress, but her long white hair is loose, giving her a wild appearance. God, the music. As if she were one with the magic of the tree, she and it both clad in the same vermilion shroud. Jennyver? Jennyver comes nearer, her head down, her face mournful, as if she reluctantly prepared herself for what is about to happen. You shouldn't be here, Arlyn. You weren't destined to reach the summit. That's what Jennyver told her when she was possessed. I think she was possessed by the Seers when they were camping that night in chapter 2, towards the end of it. And then before she vanished, I think the Seers were channeling through her like a spirit and was telling Arlyn that she wasn't destined to reach the summit. Arlyn seems unnerved by Jennifer's appearance. She takes a step backward. Yeah, she looks a lot different. What is this Gandalf staff? Defend Arlyn, stay back. Defend Arlyn! Fuck that. Something tells me I shouldn't have reached the summit either, should I? Jennyver turns towards me, her jaw clenched. And yet here we are. Hell yeah, you tell her, Rowan. I knew Jennyver. I kind of liked Jennyver until she told Arlyn at the end of chapter 2 she wasn't going to make it to the summit. She's kind of a bitch, just like Eric. And Eric and, if you notice, Eric and Jennyver were kind of in cahoots in a way. They were partners, like friends, and they were both jerks to everyone else. I mean, Jennyver wasn't really a jerk, but she was kind of just like snobby. Arlyn seems to have recovered her nerve, and she takes a few steps toward the tree. I knew it. I knew. Jennyver watches her looking frightened. Oh, shit. I knew that something was different about Jennyver. I knew she knew a little bit more about the Seers than she let on. But when she was talking to Arlyn on the mountain plateau, I knew it. I called it. I called it. Stop! Oh, shit. I refuse to submit to the will of the Seers. Oh, fuck. Please. Jennyver pulls a dagger from a fold of her dress and brandishes the blade at Arlyn. What? Geraldine, fuck. Not Geraldine. Jennyver. I'm so flustered. So many emotions are going through me right now. I gotta turn this down. Sorry. It's kind of loud. Oh my god. Fuck Jennyver. I knew Eric and her were jerks. Arlyn, please. Arlyn laughs. Did you really believe you're going to stop me? Whoa. What the fuck? The Seers have begun to strike the ground with their sticks, chanting a ritual incantation in a strange language, what sounds like the wind in the leaves and the rumbling of thunder. A pain in my stomach makes me stagger. Oh shit, there's the dagger. Jennyver, in a rush of desperation, throws herself at me, her blade before her. But Arlyn intervenes between us. Oh fuck. Whoa, what's going on? The unbearable agony drives me to my knees. Her stomach is hurting? Jennyver flounders after me, but Arlyn holds her back. No! She turns and buries her dagger in Arlyn's stomach, but Arlyn keeps her grip, leading the way the way clear for me. Arlyn! I know what will happen. It has already happened. The Seers can slow me down, but they cannot stop me. I cannot let Arlyn die. Oh my god, no. Come on, Rowan. Get the flame tree. I must not give up. Because if she touches the flame tree, she becomes a healer. It could probably heal Arlyn before she dies. 2 more steps and I'm at the flame tree. Come on, Rowan. Oh! Look! I plunge my hand into the knot of the trunk. Behind the bark is sickening, vicious warmth as if the shape of the tree hides some animal life at its core. Whoa. Dude, this is gorgeous. I rip out the beating heart of the tree. I don't have the luxury of hesitation. I don't have time. The chant of the Seers rises in the air, resounds in the earth, and the elements seem to respond to their call. Whoa, that's creepy. I bite down hard into the ebony heart. So is that how you take it? You eat some of the flame tree and then you consume its power? I am blinded by a flash of light, the icy mountain air. Whoa! The crimson leaves fall around us in a gleaming rain. Look at her antlers. I feel my antlers grow back in my skull. Then the void. I am flung into the dawn of the ages. I know it awaits me. The unbearable weight and the solitude of the island when man has not yet walked upon 2 feet. The time of the builders. Oh my god! Remember at the very beginning, literally the first thing we see when we start the game in episode 1 and chapter 1 was this tree. This was the flame tree. So we've seen the flame tree from the very beginning. The magical cataclysm that wiped them from the island. What the fuck? There's like a dragon and a volcano and Mars and a giant hand. What? The standing stones swept by the wind, the snow, the torrential rain of the Mabon and the Sahamian storms. The guardian Seers descended from their ethereal world to protect the life tree. Is it showing like what happened to Seers Isle before man existed? I cling to my memory of Arlyn. I must not forget, not this time. Dude, this is the beginning of the game. I watched the heathland cover itself in purple flowers, the grass yellow of Lithia. The leaves of 100-year-old oaks reddening and falling to cover the mossy undergrowth of the orange-brown mold. Oh my god, this is the same dialogue. Does that mean she's been here for a long time? Like this long? Like even before they were born? The first snows of Yule, not a living soul. I wait patiently for their return. Then they arrived. Except this time I was ready to welcome them. This time I hadn't forgotten them. They landed on the beach, then headed into the heathland. Arlyn stayed alone this time at the back of the line. I approach her. She sees me. Rowan? You can see me. Yes. Do you remember what happened? Arlyn looks confused. I don't know. I've had a feeling of deja vu since we arrived in this island. Does that mean all these events that just happened already happened and they're just repeating? As if everything that is happening now has already happened. Dude, my brain is all over my fucking ass. Are you a seer? No, I was human like you before. Now we're all condemned to perpetrate a cycle. And it's my fault. But this time I know how to break it. This time I remember. Arlyn stops and tries to take my hands in hers. But I have no existence in the physical world, not here, so far from the summit. Her hands pass through mine as if passing through smooth water. Arlyn is overcome. It's not your fault, Rowan. Jennyver notices that Arlyn has fallen behind and turns to wait for her. Arlyn gives me a knowing look before jogging to catch up with Jennyver. She knows. She's aware that something's happening. When the light fails, they stop for the night near the Chromalek. This time Arlyn stays seated, her eyes fixed on the fire. When she is sure that the others are sleeping, she gets up and comes over to where I have stayed, watching from a distance. She gestures me to follow her to the Chromalek. Startled, I follow her. I remember. The dagger. Arlyn puts her hand to her stomach as if the pain blade piercing her flesh returned to her memory. Jennyver. Everything is her fault, isn't it? If we stop her before she reaches the summit. I don't know, Arlyn. Jennifer's the plaything of the Seers too. We are interrupted by a light behind me, coming from the Chromalek. Oh my god, it's all making sense now. Arlyn, I have to hide. The Seers. Arlyn smiles and nods. Do what you have to do. I'll take care of the rest. The first gleams of sunrise are showing on the horizon. There is movement from the other side of the stone circle, coming from the camp. Jennyver is coming towards us, but seems not to see us. Arlyn turns and strides into the Chromalek. It is too late to flee. Without warning, everything changes. Whoa. We're on a path which snakes up the side of the mountain. A thick fog surrounds us, transforming the midday sun into a pale white orb between the granite peaks. Jennifer is gone. Arlyn turns to me. Rowan? What's happening? I think we're in Jennifer's trial. Fuck, my foot fell asleep. Does that mean we're going to see Jennifer's trial now? We hear the bleating of sheep upwind in the distance. We follow the path towards the sound of the flock. Oh shit! We arrive at a little stone house. This is Jennifer's trial. This is her village. Jennifer is sitting out front on a small bench. She's taking care of a lamb whose fleece is bloodstained on her flank. Jennifer watches us arrive. She smiles sadly at us. This is the day that my husband and my daughter went to the market. When they returned, they were feverish. 2 days later, they were dead. Whoa, so she did have a daughter. That's why she had the rag doll. It was her daughter's. So her husband did pass, and so did her daughter. Damn it, I saw that. And without pause, she slits the lamb's throat. What? The animal flails for a few seconds, frantic before collapsing on its side. Look at the blood. It, too, was destined to die. It's part of the cycle. It's not fair. So it seems like because of Jennifer, there's this shitty-ass cycle that's happening to everyone. So it seems like Jennifer got to the summit before them because the Seers took her from the Chromalek and near the forest. And then she got the Sacred Flame, and the Seers are using her to get rid of everybody else that are out there in the clan. And Jennifer's aware of this, and Jennifer's aware of Rowan. That's why she dragged Arlyn away from Rowan in chapter 2. And tried to say, oh, the Seers aren't that bad, they're just trying to help you, all that kind of stuff. It's all bullshit. She just wants the Sacred Flame for herself, and believes everyone else doesn't deserve it and should die. That's why she tried to kill Rowan and Aryln. She stabbed Arlyn, and then luckily, Rowan repeated the cycle to where Arlyn is alive again, but she can break it to where everyone is saved. It's not fair. And what if we could change our destinies? If we had the power? Arlyn clenches her fists. Rowan's right, Jennifer. Nothing is inevitable. Jennifer says nothing. She watches, her face bleak. Everything changes. Whoa. The fog surrounds us again. I knew Arlyn was the main character. I figured she was the main one. Jennifer's gone. We grope our way through the glowing gray atmosphere, guided by a distant, wavering glow. Jennifer smiles as she strokes the hair of the little girl who sits on her hip. Is that her daughter? Jennifer? She seems not to hear us, immersed in this moment of withered joy. Shake Jennifer, leave. Leave. I begin to turn away. I don't want nothing to do with Jennifer. I don't have the art to intrude on this reminiscence of her happier days. That's sweet. Before tragedy comes to destroy this simple, radiant love. Arlyn catches my arm. Rowan, we can't leave her like this. The Seers have chosen her, Arlyn. They speak to her in a language she understands. Arlyn shakes her head. But no, it's an illusion. A lie. Oh shit, Arlyn grabs Jennyver's shoulders. Suddenly the child turns towards us. Oh my god, what the fuck? She wears a wooden mask and antlers. Arlyn is shocked but doesn't release Jennyver's shoulder. She calls her again without success. In a fury, Arlyn changes her strategy and tries to catch the seer by the throat to tear it from Jennyver's lap. Dude, Arlyn's fucking had enough of this shit. Whoa. Her hands pass through the child who disappears, nestling in the shadow of the world. Dude, I'm with Arlyn. Fuck all this shit. I want to know the answers. Jennyver has a glimmer of clarity. She sees as both her empty hands drop to her thighs. Then everything changes again. A glacial wind wraps around us, driving away the fog. We're back at the flame tree. We're in front of the flame tree. Above us, the branches of the tree block out the sky as if we had entered a scarlet bower. The waves of magical currents coming from the tree sparkle in the air with a metallic shimmer. It's the same dialogue. There's Jennyver. Is she crying? And the Seers. On the other side of the chrome lake, a group of Seers watches our approach, motionless in the silent space between the two worlds. Jennyver sits next to one of the megaliths, which form the stone circle. She holds her head in her hands. Arlyn strides towards the flame tree. I follow her. Oh, shit, it's the dude. The Seers begin to strike the ground with their sticks, chanting a ritual incantation of their strange language, which sounds like the wind in the leaves. Yeah, rumbling of thunder. A pain in my stomach makes me stagger. What? This time, no one is there to block our way. I lean on Arlyn's shoulder. She guides me to the tree trunk. Nothing can shake her determination. Arlyn plunges her hand into the tree trunk and rips off the ebony heart. Fuck yes! Did they break the cycle? The Seers are suddenly hushed and retreat to the edge of the circle. Arlyn turns towards them, brandishing the beating heart of the flame tree. You are usurpers! Oh fuck, that's so cool looking. Look at that. She squeezes the heart of flame tree with all her strength in her fist. It contracts and expands frantically as blood-colored sap flows down Arlyn's arms. We can almost hear the chaotic beating. I join her to help her break once and for all the heart of the tree. So, the heart of the tree, the flame heart of the flame tree. His music is beautiful, by the way. Oh, look at them. They're so cute. So, it's kind of an evil madness. Like, it drives people to want to crave power. It's a kind of greed, in a way. And it's just this terrible cycle that people go and try to achieve to the summit to get the flame, and where all their friends die behind them. I'll talk about it in the end of this, and at the end of the chapter. There's a crackling sound, then another. The beat slows, weakens, until they cease. Oh shit, they fucking did it! The Seers are like shadows at the borders of the world. Oh shit! Everything is dead now. Arlyn drops the heart of the flame tree, now lifeless, to the floor of the chromalek. There's a moment of uncertainty. The day becomes night and the tree burns itself up in a storm of flames. Arlyn looks into my eyes. She whispers to me, "We're free." Then she takes my hand and guides me out of the chromalek as the ashes of the old world drift down around us. Achievement unlocked, the crow takes flight. Ashes to ashes. Achievement, mouths will be fed. Oh, it's all my achievements. That's the end? Freedom. The Hanged Man. Oh, Connor. The Cub. Duncan. Embers. Oh, shit. I thought they were going to be a couple. It looks like, yeah, damn. They're leftover. I'm sorry. He's just the leftovers. Yeah, Brandon just kind of died on the beach. That's sad, man. Deadeye. Dude, I got a lot of achievements. Maybe my choices were good. That was it. That was the end. Okay. I was happy with that ending. I'm not going to lie. I know there's multiple endings, but I was happy with that ending. Rowan and Arylyn got to leave the island in peace and go back to their village as romantic partners. That's so sweet. Okay. So let me get this straight. Let me try to piece together the story in my mind. Give me a second. Okay, so this is my guess of the story. This is my take on it, my perspective. The 7 clan people, Brandon, Freya, Eric, Duncan, Connor, Arlyn, and Jennyver, the 7 people were sent from their different villages. Like, obviously, Arlyn was a sailor or a fishwoman. Jennyver, I'm assuming at that point, was just like a farmer because she had like lambs at her village we saw. Connor was a city boy. Duncan and Eric were kind of the same. They're like warriors. Freya was a huntress and Brandon was a carpenter. But Jennyver also was kind of like a medicine woman as well. Rowan was also like a witch, essentially. So my guess is what happened. I think that before even these 7 people were sent onto the island, Rowan was sent there. So it seems like the Seers are basically gods. And there was what we saw with the dragon, the volcano, and that giant hand was the ancient Seers, that they created this world of peace and prosperity where humans, like it was actually before humans ever walked the earth. And it was where the gods lived and thrived and had a world of their own. But something happened. The flame tree, I think, grew, or some seer created the flame tree. And its power was too much that it sent the world into a cataclysmic, apocalyptic, like, devastation. And that's where there's dragons and volcanoes that we saw in that area. And I think it killed off a lot of the Seers, like ancient Seers, and it left a lot of younger Seers in its presence. So they figured out that the flame tree has the flame heart, which has an unimaginable healing power. So if you take it, you take a little bit of the flame tree with you, you become a shaman and a healer, and you have healing powers, and you can heal anybody before they die. Like for example, Arlyn got the dagger wound, or someone's about to die, you could put your hand on them like magic, and it would heal like some type of potion automatically, and the person would be completely fine. There was a devastation with the flame tree. Man came to the island, discovered that the Seers exist, and the flame tree. So the Seers, being all powerful and stuff, created this trials for the humans to complete so they could live in harmony. Because I feel like the Seers and the humans never got along very well. I feel like there was some type of conflict there that caused a falling out among them. And so that's why humans left the Isle and found other lands that they lived in, different villages and kingdoms and clans and stuff, and tribes. Then the Seers created these trials, or these initiations, for worthy chosen people from different villages and cities and stuff to go try the trials and see if they're worthy enough to claim the sacred flame of the flame tree and become a healer and shaman to go back to their village and help. So that's what I think would happen. Now Rowan, I think she was thrown onto the boat before the clan people. I think her being on the boat with the clan people before, and then seeing her and talking to her, what we saw in chapter 5, right? Was actually just an illusion that the Seers created for her, was her essential trial in a way. And she broke free of it. She actually ended up going with other people there that we just don't know about. They were all, maybe one of them succeeded and went back to the tribe. She was judged illy as a witch and was forced to become a seer and be invisible to people, humans. But she was once a human before, because I'm assuming when she was a kid, was friends with Gavin and Fiona, King Luther's kids, and they were friends, and they're in that festival time, they went to go pick berries. It was just bad timing, bad place, wrong time. Abera killed Gavin, Fiona escaped, King Luther blamed her for the death of his son, and then banished her essentially to be judged by the Seers. And then the Seers saw her as a witch because of her powers and condemned her to being a seer and trapped her on Seers Isle. So then maybe, I think honestly, because at the beginning she saw the passage of time so many times that she could have been there for years and years, because she said that she's been there she lost the passage of time, like she lost track of time. So who knows? But these 7 people, Arlyn and all them, came, just another initiation. And over the time, I think Rowan watched people come to the island and be tried, and a lot of people died, and only 1 or 2 people succeeded. So it seems like only 1 person actually gets the flame out of how many people show up. And she tried to break the cycle, but she couldn't until this clan that we experienced the story with came. So she saw Arlyn. Arlyn was the first to spot her, and they realized that they had this connection because they were both sorceresses, because Arlyn casted flame from her hands. Rowan casted this mysterious blue healing light magic or whatever. And that's what she was blamed for and banished from her village because of her being a witch. But Jennyver knew a lot more than she let on. And I think Jennyver was secretly actually a seer. She was trying to stop everyone else from getting there, especially Arlyn, because Arlyn she saw was the most determined and was questioning the seers in chapter 2, saying it's not fair. They shouldn't be doing this to us. Why is this happening? And Jennyver saw that as a problem. And so she was like, no, the seers have good reason. The seers have everything to do, blah, 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 blah. So there was this repetitive cycle, and it just kept repeating. It was like a time loop, essentially. And so eventually all the characters died from my choices that I picked. Duncan, Eric, Connor, Freya, Brandon. Eventually, Rowan and Jennyver gets taken by the seers to watch over them at the summit. Arlyn and Rowan and them sees that they're getting closer and they're succeeding, and sees that Arlyn and Rowan get closer, and then obviously romantically. Them being romantic together broke the spell that the seers put on Rowan, so she became human again and tore off her antlers that made her a seer. And I'm assuming that white deer that we saw in chapter 3 was like the leader of like an ancient, maybe one of the last ancient seers, just in the form of like a deer, so like a spirit guide, spirit animal kind of thing, that like the seers took like counsel from and made their decisions with. So Arlyn succeeds getting there. Jennyver tries to stop them, stabs Arlyn with the dagger, almost kills her, but Rowan ends up making it to the tree, grabs the heart, eats it to consume the healing power, heals Arlyn, and then they repeat the time loop. And then that's when they see Jennifer's past, that her trial that she technically now failed, that she had passed before, so they broke the time loop. So her eating that and her love for Arlyn blew into the dagger wound, saved Arlyn from dying, and it broke the evil time cycle that the Seers and Jennyver were creating for all these other people over these years. So I think Jennyver was on it for a while. And maybe, who knows, maybe Jennyver was going to these places even before Arlyn and all them went, and she just kept joining them. So yeah, Jennyver was evil. Jennyver was not good. So eventually they break the time cycle, destroy the Seers, heal Arlyn from dying, and they see Jennifer's past and realize that Jennyver was just defeated her basically in the time loop. They broke the time scale. And then that's why they saw Jennyver crying with her hands, because Jennifer's defeat. She's like they won. They beat it. They destroyed the time cycle that the Seers had put on every other human that they've been doing over these centuries. And that's it. And so then they took the heart, healed each other, and then they broke the spell on the island. And basically what I'm assuming, they killed off the Seers, destroyed the world, and killed Jennyver. And so that means the spell on Rowan and just Seers Isle in general were broken. And so they took the flame heart, killed the flame tree, and so there's no more sacred flame. And so there's no more spell on the island. So then Arlyn and Rowan were able to leave and be free together and be romantic partners. And I'm assuming probably just got on a boat or built a boat or something and sailed and returned to their village and lived the rest of their lives together as a couple. So I think that's what happened. And that was fucking awesome. I would give that game a 10 out of 10 rating. That was unbelievable. It was well written. The dialogue was witty. It was very, very intuitive and intriguing. The character development was off the charts. I fell in love with every character except for Jennyver and Eric because they were fucking bitches, and they were evil. Well, Eric was just an angry piece of shit who like couldn't control his emotions. Jennyver was a fucking evil witch, essentially, and tried to kill them multiple times. And so I think Jennyver deserved what got to her. I think she did. So did the Seers. So really the Seers were evil. They weren't good people. And I'm glad that Arlyn and Rowan defeated them. So I would say it's 10 out of 10. The lore itself is just unbelievable. I mean, really. I mean, if you think about many games promises choices because there's multiple endings. And a choose an adventure game can be very difficult and tricky to play because there's so many different paths you can take that alter the story. And I can tell in the choices that I made, every single choice I made mattered. Because if I had picked one other choice that I didn't in this playthrough, like if I go back and play a different entire playthrough, make completely different choices, I would probably get an entirely different line, probably even learn more about Freya in them, and get an entirely different ending. That is fucking cool. And I may do that. I won't record it, but I may go do that. I'm very, very happy with the ending I got. I'm very happy with it. The world building is very concise. The characters are very memorable. I loved obviously except for Eric and Jennyver, I loved all the characters. Brandon was okay, but we didn't really get to see much of him. Maybe if I had picked different, like maybe if I had let him go with us, he probably would have died, but maybe we'd have gotten to know more about him. But the character development is awesome. I really, really connected with Connor, Arlyn, Duncan, and Rowan the most. Those were the four. I really did like Freya, but we didn't get to know a lot about her backstory, sadly, before the Seers took her. It was I could tell it was very heavily inspired by like Norse Viking lore because there was a lot of like Nordic runes on the stones and like their outfits kind of resembled like Norse type clothing. They carried spears, bow and arrows, and knives and swords. There was no like futuristic kind of weapons or like kind of like fantasy like weapons. It was very like historically realistic looking. It was very heavily, it seemed like, on spirituality, like finding your own destiny, accomplishing your own path, and not letting people control you. It was kind of like, in a way, like Big Brother's watching, like the Seers are watching over you, and you defy that play. You defy that control, and you follow your own spiritual path, that wherever destiny takes you, and you find your own light. And that's what I think Arlyn was the strongest out of all of them, was she defied the Seers. She didn't understand why this was happening, wanted to know the bigger questions, wanted to find out the answers, and she was determined. She didn't give up. And a lot of these other characters kind of gave up. Like Duncan, he didn't really care about knowing about the Seers. He kind of just wanted to get through it, get the sacred flame, and go home and be a healer. Eric was too much into his mind and anger that he couldn't even see past himself. Bit of a narcissist. Freya, she was possibly worthy of the flame, but she was too much she kind of just didn't really care about it as much, I could tell. Brandon was just there. Jennyver obviously was controlled. Connor wasn't really sent to be a shaman. He was just kind of sent to figure out what's going on and just failed in the process. And he was kind of a lackey. I mean, because the temple was basically like, hey, if you die, I guess that you die. Who gives a shit? Come back, you come back. That's great. We just don't really know what to do with you. Which is really sad because Connor kind of had a sad story. He kind of seemed like no one really cared about him as much, except for really Arlyn. But it's incredibly complex and very involving. It's really, really deep. It has a lot of themes of fate, reality, and perception of choice-centered qualities to storytelling. It's really, really well done. I would rate it 10 out of 10. Even just the soundtrack, holy shit. Dude, the soundtrack is so beautiful. It's awesome. It gives me goosebumps listening to it. And just like the art style, like the hand-drawn watercolor look, like the realistic hand-drawn characters, but the watercolor background and scenery is gorgeous. Like everything, you get so many cool different environments. You get like a water, ocean, and beach. You get mountains, you get forests, snow, tree, kind of like fall, autumn trees. You get like caves. villages, buildings, it's castles. It's really cool, man. It's perhaps the strongest aspect of Seers Isle to me. The narrative was headed because it's very complex. It was really, really close. As I got closer to the end, I could tell the choices were dwindling in a way because it was kind of forming my own path in the ending that was kind of getting set in stone. But it was really, really well done. Really, really well done. A lot of people would say the ending was a bit rushed. I kind of felt like that, but honestly, I was very happy with my ending. It was a happy ending. I mean, they destroyed the Seers and Jennyver. They destroyed the Flame Heart, so no other humans could be hurt and be put through this torture. And Rowan and Arylyn, as couples, was able to go back home and we're free from being trapped there and dying there. And I'm very, very happy with that. I'm very happy with that ending. I may go back and play some of the different endings to get like different outcomes. But honestly, I may be kind of happy with that. I'm very happy with that ending. Definitely Rowan and Arylyn were my favorite characters. Other than Connor and Duncan, they were my favorite female characters, but also my favorite characters above all. I mean, the soundtrack, the dialogue, the writing, the cinematography of it, the gameplay, the choices. The choices were very hard sometimes. Like, I was like sweating. Like, I was like, oh my God. And just like the relationships between the characters, the relationships especially between Rowan and Arylyn were so adorable and so well thought out. It was such a cool game. Such a cool game. It is worth the play. It is 100% worth playing. 10 out of 10. No complaints. I have no negative feedback about it. I ranted long enough about the game, so damn, that was a ride. That was a wild ride. I'm very, very happy I got to play that game. Shout out to the developers of I think the developers, they're called Novabox. Shout out to Novabox. They've made some other games on Steam. Go check them out. I may actually check those out later in the future and play them. But this by far I think this is their latest game. It came out in like 2018. So it's like 3 years old. So it's decently old. But definitely go check it out. I highly recommend this game. It is fantastic. And I really, really enjoyed it. It was awesome. Thank you guys for watching so much. Please leave a like. It really helps my channel out. Also, subscribe to become a jack-o'-lantern. And before I end the video, I will be playing the end soundtrack to Seers Isle for you to listen to and relax to end our journey. It's sad. I know, it's sad. I really was enjoying the game and the characters and the Norse mythological world they built of Seers Isle and just the world in general. It was amazing. So enjoy the music.